looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits zero for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Creekat, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Imagine a world where no one explains the rules of the game. Just go out there and do your best, kid. But your best isn't good enough. Junior Achievement is working on leveling the playing field. We need your support. Suit up. It's game time.
Visit ja.org/volunteer.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Once again, we are back with Heart of a Husker. I'm your host, Rashawn Jackson, 3-time national champ. And I'm with my big brother, somebody I love to death, man, Mickey Joseph. Mick, how you been, brother? How you been?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Oh, I can't call it, man. Just doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, man. Just checking on you, making sure, you
I'm
good,
still
man. Watching.
Yeah, I'm all over. I'm here in New Orleans right now. I spent some time in Omaha, as you know. I spent some time in Denver with my brother Vance, and Memphis, Tennessee with my brother Sammy, and go visit my cousin Terry in Austin. So I've just been trying to stay busy, but it's been good though.
Yeah, I was thinking about, I was looking at Keyshawn Boodle. They had this deal at LSU where it said the last
Butte.
Oh, it's Butte.
See, y'all get our Louisiana names. Y'all mess our Louisiana names up. It's Butte.
It's Butte.
Butte, yes.
Okay. All right, Butte. He must be from New Orleans.
No, New Iberia.
Well, it's down there, ain't it?
No. Lafayette. New Iberia is over by Lafayette. Southwest a little bit.
Oh, I got you.
You're trying to put everybody in New Orleans here. Yeah.
Everybody's from New Orleans, ain't they?
He's from New Iberia.
Okay. So Keyshawn Butte, 199 catches. Jamar Chase, 199 catches. Terrence Marshall Jr., 195 catches. Malik Neighbors, 188. This is the most receiving yards in a half. My bad. Okay, this is the last 20 years. Malik Neighbors, 188 yards. Justin Jefferson, 186 yards. Did you have anything to do with any of those guys?
I sat in all their living rooms.
How'd you get them?
One of those living rooms.
How'd you get them?
Well, I think with recruiting, they were in-state kids, and I always compare in-state kids to out-of-state kids, and if it comes up even, like the evaluation comes up, I'm gonna go with the in-state kid, just because he's more comfortable with his surroundings, and I don't have to break that out-of-state kid in to some surroundings, because recruiting at LSU is a little different, because Louisiana's a little different. You bring a kid from out of state, you got to kind of break him in. Sometimes it takes 6 to 8 months to get used to being down here from Louisiana if you're not from here. But I started recruiting those kids when they were, 14, 15 years old, some of them 13 when they were 8th graders, and develop a relationship not only with them, but develop a relationship with their parents, and find out who's going to pull the trigger, who makes this kid tick. And I didn't have to go far. And I knew all those kids at one point could be draft picks. I didn't know if they were going to be first round to 6th round. I didn't know that. I was surprised with Kayshawn because I thought Kayshawn is first round talent and he went 6th round. I thought Trey Palmer was 2nd, 3rd round talent. He went 6th round. But, to say that, just they'll get to their second contract. And that's when you make your money. But I sat in all their living rooms.
What does that conversation go like when you trying to get a guy that caliber? What do you say to the mom and dad? What do you say?
Well, that I'm gonna treat him like he's mine. I'm gonna treat him like he's my son. So that goes with the good, that goes with the bad. And I think you if you're up front with him and you challenge him on things, not just things on the field, just schoolwork and and doing things, trying to do things the correct way. I think, but when you develop a relationship with the parents can trust you with their kid. Because so many parents, you think parents trust you. So many parents don't trust people with their kids unless you're going to pick up where they left off at. And what I'm saying that he's 17, 18 years old. Now you're going to pick up. Now you're going to get him from 18 to 22. Sometimes you get them at 17, you lose it. You get them, they're going at 20 at LSU because they only went to school for 5 semesters. They leave when they're juniors. So, they leave, you get them young and they leave young. So it's your job as a coach to just pick up where the parents left off at. But that's having a really good relationship with the parents. Like I spoke with Talia yesterday, Jamar, they 0-2. And I spoke with Jimmy Chase today. So within 24 hours, I spoke with both parents, and I'm gonna go see Jamar in 2 weeks when they play the Rams on Monday night. Because I still try to keep up with them. I'm not like a coach that call them all the time, but if they need me, they know where I'm at. But I have such a strong relationship with all those kids that they can pick the phone up if they haven't spoke to me in 3 months, and everything's gonna be okay, and I'm gonna help them.
How did you juggle that room having so much talent in the room?
I don't want to say it's the same way, and not to sound arrogant, so I'm gonna just say it, but I'm people that know me know I'm not arrogant. It's the same way mom and dad ran our house, because you understand they had three Division I players in their house, and they had 3 superstars in their house, but everybody got treated fairly. Everybody had to pull their own weight, and everybody had to have patience. And I tell kids that all the time. Like, people say, okay, why Trey Palmer didn't play? Well, Trey Palmer didn't play a lot because he played behind Justin Jefferson. Now, two Sundays, like last Sunday, Trey Palmer starts for the Buccaneers and Justin starts for the Vikings. And Trey was Justin's backup. And Trey didn't won. D White's over there also, D White's over there. But I'm just saying that it's talent, but everybody knew they were being treated fair. Nobody felt like they were getting screwed over, because they know you battle, you win the job, you play. And they knew when I said it, I meant it. I had no favorites. I love them all, but at the end of the day, when it's time to play football, the best one goes out there. It's not who I like. I don't like just about this kid. And I think that's the problem with some college coaches, because I think some college coaches, they don't like a kid and they don't feel a certain way about a kid. They don't play the kid. And my thing is, in the league, you can't do that. Once they pay that kid, the league don't care. You're going to have to play him. You're going to have to play him. So my thing was, I never wanted them to like me all the time. I never wanted them to hate me all the time. And I was always in between with them. But they knew one thing, that I was going to coach him hard, but I wasn't going to yell at A and not yell at B. Everybody gets it. Everybody gets the loving after it's over. Everybody gets the ass chewing though. And I think they knew that, and they respect that from me, that I showed no favoritism.
Mm-hmm. Will you talk about a little bit, Mickey, about receiver development? Like, you get a guy as a freshman, 17, 18-year-old young man.
Yeah.
Doesn't know a lot about life. But you get him, how do you develop him into the Jamar Chases, into the Justin Jeffersons, into the Trey Palmers? How do you get them? What do you do? And how do you train them into the guys that we've seen go first round, second round, sixth round, but star in the NFL?
Yeah. Well, I always say this, and I tell people this: I'm no miracle worker. But one thing I do start off with, you have to have some talent. If you can't play, see, okay, listen to me. Listen to this. Good players can't overcome bad coaching. You know what I mean? Good players can't overcome bad coaching. It's just it. So if you're a good player and you're getting bad coaching, then you can't overcome it. Bad players can't overcome good coaching. If you're just a bad player and you don't belong on that level, don't care what coach you sit in front of you, you're going to be that same guy. You got to bring something to the table. I always say you got to meet me halfway. So you got to have some talent. So when I'm looking at a receiver coming out of high school, the first thing I want to know, can he catch? Can he catch contested balls? Then my thing is, how fast is he? Does he have to be like Trey, 4.3? Kayshawn ran 20.4 in high school, 200 meters. Trey ran 10, 300 meters. You know what, Jamar Chase ran 10, 700 meters in high school. You know what more people would have said? Well, he's not fast enough. Well, 10, 7, 10, 800 meters running, that's fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's fast for a football player. Them track dudes are different beasts, man, when they come to track. But I find out if they can catch contested balls and they got strong hands. Then I find out if they can run. Then I look at if they can come in and out of their break. But don't get it twisted. Before I do all of that, he got to have some dog in him.
What is that dog you looking for?
Just, I'm gonna get it. I'm about to get it done for you. I'm about to get after this boy. I'm gonna get after him. I remember we playing a certain team, and it was a certain DB that tweeted at my guys, Jamar, Jets, Terrence, when we was playing them. And before, Jamar never talks. I mean, you know, Terrence, Jets, they never talk. Before, they was like, we about to mess old boys' draft grade up. You know, and this team had 2 first rounders, and we went after a dude. We went after him hard because Jamar had that dog in him. Yeah. Justin have that dog in him. Terrence have that dog in him. Just, I'm going to get after you. But you couldn't be in my run unless you had that dog, because you was going to stick out like a sore thumb if you didn't have it, because I'm going to call you on it. I'm going to call you on it like, hey, you just don't. You got to have that. I'm about to get it done. I'm about to win this battle any means necessary. I'm not trying to hurt nobody, but I'm about to get this thing done. Any means necessary. I'm going to make this catch. I'm going to route this boy up any means necessary. I'm going to make this block any means necessary. And that's what I'm talking about, that dog. Just that I'm going to work. I'm going to keep working until I get it right. That's that dog in you. Then you have to make up of the catching, the running, you know, and in and out of your breaks. And then I'm going to clean you up with your routes. I learned one thing from my mentor, Jerry Sullivan, who spent 25 to 30 years in the NFL. He's probably the best receiver coach to come through the NFL. I worked with him for 2 years at LSU. Before that, I've been doing it forever. And he taught me about route running. And he always say with route running, if you paint a pretty picture as a receiver, the ball's going to come easy to you and you're going to catch it. But if you run a raggedy route, the time is not going to be there. But you have to work on that. You have, that just can't happen in the off season when you're doing 7-on-7, on the summer when you're doing 7-on-7. Sometimes that has to happen right after practice. We got to sit here and we got to work this route. With the passing concept, listen to me about completing the pass. It's 3rd and 7. We got to complete this pass, okay? And let me show you how difficult it is. First of all, I got to have the correct formation, so get the correct look. Then I have to have the right concept, and hopefully I get the right coverage, because you're going to have a 2-side, you're going to have a 3-side. Your 3-side might be to the field, your 2-side might be to the boundary, because you can get cloud in the boundary. Okay, so you can get quarter, half, which is cloud to the boundary, quarters to the field. Okay, so we're going to give you a 2-high look and 1-high look. Once you get that, then we got to have the correct pass protection. We got to chip a guy maybe because our tackle ain't winning. So we got to chip and keep the back end and release 4 and release the 5th one late. Okay, then you got to have the right protection. Then they got to run the correct routes. The quarterback got to take the correct drop. Then he's got to make the throw. We got to catch it. All that has to happen to complete a ball in the passing game. So you don't think you need to work on that? That's why you got to have a 7-on-7, and you got to have team pass, and you got to throw it after practice if you're committed to throwing the football. And when we won it in 19 at LSU, we was committed to throwing the football. We ran 2 running plays. We ran dual, and we ran power. Everything was between the tackles. We had a little Clyde and Larry, kid that's playing in Kansas City. But you understand that 2019 team, everybody who touched the ball was a first rounder now, except Thaddeus Moss, the tight end. So but we used to keep those kids after practice. And we walked through the incomplete passes, and we had to talk about the timing. And sometimes we had to tell Joe B, hey, throw it 2 yards inside the hash, and I'm gonna have him there. And I'm like, hey, Jets, you got to be 2 yards inside this hash, and the ball's gonna be there. Because sometimes you get double covered. Okay, you got to fight to get there. They don't know where you're going. You know where you're going. You know where the ball's going. They don't know where the ball's going. But you got to work at that. The passing game is so complicated. It's not something that you just can say, I want to do. You know, and I had to learn that. And I learned it from when Joe Brady came in, and Joe Brady said, and Jerry Sullivan, they used to say the passing game is very difficult. So anytime you had a drop, I put a drop down as a turnover. Because we had to go through all of that, and you drop the ball. And the worst thing you can do, the worst drop in the world is a third down drop or a touchdown drop. But you got to do a lot in the passing game. You got to really have to work in the passing game for its concepts and getting the right looks you want, and where's your quarterback reading at before you just can say, I'm just gonna call this pass play. You really can't do that in the passing game.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting ready to throw it to break, Mickey, but before I do, I'm gonna throw a couple more questions out there. Maybe you can be thinking about them over this break.
Because I got a house full of people. You know, the Saints are on tonight. You know,
who they playing? Who they playing?
Carolina.
You
know, my family is 6-6. You know, my family's big Saints fans, and my whole family came over here.
Who's coaching Carolina?
I think Frank Rick, the guy from the coach. I think he's there now. I think that's who I seen.
All right. Well, we got one more segment with Mickey Joseph. Mickey, when we come back, we're gonna talk about the Mickey coaching style, all gas, no breaks. We're gonna talk a little bit about how do you manage. Well, we already talked about how do you manage the talent in the room, but what's the biggest misunderstanding of the transfer portal?
Okay.
And then I want to know, because this is one thing that I see with receivers, and I think it's a dying discipline. How does a receiver get separation when running the route?
Yes. Yeah.
More with Mickey Joseph, the coach, when we get back.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha. Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
The first half of the high school football season in the state of Nebraska has come and gone, so we turn our attention to Week 5, and we have you covered right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night as we bring you a Class B matchup here on The Ticket. It's the Creek Cardinals traveling to Lincoln to face off against the Thunderbolts of Lincoln Pius X. The Cardinals look to stay above 500 here in 2023, while the Thunderbolts look to bounce back after a disappointing loss at Bennington last week. Kickoff is slated for 7 p.m. from Aldrich Field, while we have pregame starting at 6:40 p.m. And you can hear all the action between Crete and Pius X unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any backyard landscaping project, and you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between. Capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes. Heart of a Husker. I am here, the captain, Bertrand Jackson. I'm with the great Mickey Joseph. Mickey, you know, we talked a little bit about development. We talked a little bit about how do you deal with all those receivers in the room. Well, let me ask you that. How do you keep all those guys happy and hungry and not wanting to enter into the transfer portal?
Well, I think I used to do a good job of just being open with them and always letting them know where they're at, you know, as far as the depth chart and where I'm at with them if I'm not going to play them. And everybody always say like, well, all the kids want to play, you know, because parents, you know, college has changed. Like my parents never called my high school coach. I don't think they even questioned my playground coach. And but they question college coaches like, why are my kids not playing? Mm-hmm. You know, and my thing I always said, ask him why he's not playing, and or he'll play when he's better than the guy in front of him. You know, and so my thing, you keep them happy because they know where they're at, and you keep them competing because even if you're a backup, you got to prepare like you're a starter because you're one play from getting in the game. Let me give you a quick story. 2017, we're in the swamp playing Florida. Justin Jefferson's a 6 foot, 165, 70-pound freshman. Derek Dillon's our starting receiver. Derek Dillon's with the USFL right now. He's our starting slot from Pine, Louisiana. He gets a targeting penalty, and he get kicked out the game. Well, with me, your tools don't get many reps, okay, during the game week. The tools don't get many reps. maybe 10 to 12 a practice. The rest of them go to the starters. They got to run. And Derek get kicked out of the game, and I have DJ Chark, who's playing tonight with Carolina. You make me miss him. And I have Russell Gage, who's with the Buccaneers, who's hurt. They're the two starting receivers on the outside. And you got Derek Dillon. Well, Derek Dillon kicked out. Well, guess what? It's Justin Jefferson's first game in the swamp now. He's a 17-year-old, 18-year-old freshman, and we're in the swamp, and we're in the battle. And my big thing was, okay, you got to be ready to go at all times. And when that kid went in, the first time he went in, I think it was Chauncey, the kid that was at New Orleans, the really good nickel. He kind of shoved him, had him in the coolers, just kind of shoved him a little bit, but he held his own. And from that time on, I knew he was going to be a great player. But right then, when I seen him fight and keep fighting, he a freshman going against a draft pick, and keep fighting and kept fighting. And we beat Florida that day. We beat him late, and I watched him fight. But he was always preparing like he was a starter, because you're only one player away from being a starter. So you got to keep reiterating that to him. And then I don't deal with pouting. I don't deal with you pouting, you upset. If you upset, just say, Mickey, I'm upset. I'm pissed off. Just say I'm upset. And I'm good with it, because you have a right to, because that means you care. That means you're passionate, that you want to play, because I'm not giving you anything. I'm not going to play you because you're my next door neighbor. My brother Vance cut my brother Sammy from the San Francisco 49ers. So you don't think I'll sit you on the bench? So they know I'm fair. So, and then guess what? They don't want to leave me when they get in my room, because they know at the end of the day, when they come talk to me, I'm going to tell them the truth, and I'm going to get them ready for the next level. And people say, well, you took Trey Palmer with you. Well, I had no choice, because Trey forced himself on me. Trey called me and said, I don't care where you're going, I'm coming. And I was like, oh, you sure? I said, you need to stay in Nebraska through spring and go ahead and give the new coach a shot. And he was like, no, I'm just going to come with you, because he knew he wanted to continue the teaching in the relationship. Because you remember now, I started recruiting Trey when he was 14, 15. So I knew everything. I knew everything about Trey. Trey knew everything about me. But that's the relationship that you have with them. And once they trust you, they don't want to leave you. And some kids have to leave. Some kids have to go because there is no light at the end of the tunnel. You're a junior, but I brought this true freshman in, and he's better than you. And now with this transfer portal, man, I told him, if I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it. If I was playing right now with the transfer portal, how much money these kids getting? I'd have went to 4 different schools. I would have get them all for $150,000, because my thing is, coaches leave all the time, and nobody never say anything. But when these kids get ready to leave, now we upset. Come on, man. Come on. That's part of the game now. You leave when you want, and I tell coaches that all the time. The next team come offer you $300,000 more, you out of here. But they get mad at the kid, and that's not right. That's not right. It's a free country. They have a right to do what they want. It might not be the right decision, but if that's what they want to do, you can talk them down. If that's what they want to do, they're going to do regardless of what you say to them.
What do you think the biggest misunderstanding of the transfer portal is?
I think the people. I think people think it's bad for college football. I think they think it's bad for college football, because when it first came out, I thought the same thing. I said, boy, this is going to be bad for college football. But now, what it's making you do, it's making you really evaluate older kids. That now you can't say, well, we got to develop him into this. No, when you look in the transfer portal, you're looking for a kid to come in and play right away. Because the reason you're in a portal, because he's better than what you're playing with. And that's why you go to the portal. So my thing, when you go to the portal, you go into the portal to get starters. Because I always think the makeup of your team always has to be, since with the portal, it's got to be 20% portal. Then I think the rest got to be kids that's been in the program, kids, and then developing freshmen. but I think the portal is important. But I think people think it's bad. But I think it's good for the kids because now we just got to understand who these kids are these days. They all think they should be playing. They all think they're getting screwed. Okay, I'm gonna go see if the grass is green on the other side. But if they look at the numbers, if the kids look at the numbers that's in the portal, it should scare them a little bit because there's a lot of kids that get left in the portal that don't find scholarships. So I tell kids all the time, even when kids come to me and say they want to get in the portal, okay, do you have a plan? Have you been reaching out to any schools? Because I don't want to ask if any school's been reaching out to them because now that's tampering. And if you're tampering, I don't want to know. Because I'm not turning you in. I'm not doing that. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But don't think it's not going on. It's going on. But I would make sure that they have a plan before they get in the portal. That they just don't jump in the portal. Now I'm hoping, because I tell kids when you want to jump in the portal, you need to reach out to the schools that was recruiting you before you sign here. Because at the end of the day, if we say we're trying to help them, let's help them the right way. Of course, you're going to be upset. Of course, because you don't want to lose any players, but just like you lose them, you can go get another one. You can go get another one. And I think, the portal, these kids didn't come up with this idea. The NCAA came up with this idea.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't blame these kids for something that the NCAA came up with. And that was me in the beginning. I'm blaming the kids. And I'm like, at the end of the day, hold on. These kids didn't come up with this. The NCAA did. So now either you embrace it, because that's what college football is going to be about, that and NIL. You embrace it or you fall behind. You got to go in that portal now. You got to go in that portal and get older players because, it's you're playing older kids. You're playing older kids, so it's hard for that 18-year-old to go against that 22-year-old. In some circumstances, they're going to win. But you never heard him when they said he got that grown man strength.
Yeah.
22-year-old who's been on campus 2 years is probably a better player than that freshman coming out. Now, freshman might be better than him in a couple of years, but at this point, who's better? And that's why you can do. You can get a portal kid, a good portal kid, and put your freshmen behind them and help let that portal kid start for a year and help him develop that young kid. And then when that young kid's a sophomore, now he's ready. So now you might have him for 2 because if he's the dog he's supposed to be, he's leaving as a junior and he's going to the league. So I think you can use your portal like that. You get a portal kid because you got a really good freshman, but he's not ready to give you 65 to 70 snaps. So I'm going to bring a portal kid in. I'm going to play the portal kid about 50 snaps. I'm going to play this freshman about 25. And then when this portal kid gets out of here, this freshman, he's got over 300 snaps in the season. So now he's ready to go.
Gotcha.
So you got to have a plan with this portal. You just can't go in the portal and get them. And then when they get there, oh man, he's not playing. Now remember now when you go in the portal, you got to go get starters.
Right, Mick. So we got one more segment, Mick, and then you can get to your New Orleans, Carolina game.
Man, you're gonna. These people are gonna kill me.
Just one more. That's it. And they're gonna get back to them. Now listen, I'm gonna give you.
So you know how the people in Louisiana are. They'll get after me.
I know. Especially you in New Orleans too. Y'all ain't got too far to. You can't keep going south. You're running to the water.
No, they know where my house is at.
Okay, so the one question I'll ask you to think about is how do you use the NIL to your advantage? That's number one. And then number two, just give me when you look at this whole thing that is Deion Sanders, right? This phenom, this Deion Sanders. I just want you to give me your synopsis on that. So 2 more questions with the coach, Mickey Joseph. I'm the captain. We on Heart of a Husker, sponsored by the Notto Companies. We'll be right back.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln.
Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
At Ascend Aesthetics, they understand that you want results and you want them fast. That's why they've developed the fastest weight loss and body toning programs that are clinically proven to shed extra fat, boost muscle mass, and tighten skin without having to spend hours at the gym. Reveal your leaner physique, ignite your testosterone levels, and boost your energy with personalized plans tailored to your goals. Learn more at slimdowne.com or call 402-480-6680. Ascend Aesthetics, where transformation begins.
The first half of the high school football season in the state of Nebraska has come and gone, so we turn our attention to week 5, and we have you covered right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night as we bring you a Class B matchup here on The Ticket. It's the Creek Cardinals traveling to Lincoln to face off against the Thunderbolts of Lincoln Pius X. The Cardinals look to stay above 500 here in 2023, while the Thunderbolts look to bounce back after a disappointing loss at Bennington last week. Kickoff is slated for 7 p.m. from Aldrich Field, while we have pregame starting at 6:40 p.m. And you can hear all the action between Crete and Pius X unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah, Husker. I'm with the legend, one of the greatest, Mickey Joseph. Mick, talk to me about the NIL. How do you use the NIL to your advantage in this climate?
Well, my thing is, first of all, you got to have some money. You know, you got to have some money, and I think the first thing you got to do is be fair with your team first, and I think you got to make sure the teams get something as a whole, and then it will go with individual contracts with the kids that deserve it. But I think it's tough on coaches these days, trying to police kids that make more than some of their assistants. And I mean, in every school is not blessed to have collectives, with money that can back these kids. And I think that you got to teach your kids this also. You got to teach them it comes responsibility with this NIL. Like, if you have a parent, you got a show to do, you got to be there for the show. You got to sign autographs at a golf tournament, you got to be there. Because I think if they don't show, you shouldn't pay them. Because that's how it's going to be in the real world. You don't show up for work, you don't get paid. But I think you can use it to your advantage, if you have money to do it. Because right now, I laugh at it because I say, well, guys that I know were bad recruiters are good recruiters now because of NIL.
Oh, wow.
I can't hate on that because it's the truth. But NIL had leveled the playing field for his coaching and recruiting. And now you have to sell your program. You got to sell your NIL, but you also you got to sell that this is it's going to be stable here, that we're going always going to have your check ready to go, because I'm sure there's some horror stories out of there with NIL, that we haven't heard about. I mean, everything's not going perfect now. This the world. Everything's not perfect. Right. So some people are having some trouble. Some kids are not getting paid. It's happening, And I think everybody wants to put up the persona that everything's gravy until it's your kid. Like me and my brother VJ say, it's okay till it's not okay.
So when you think about this whole Deion thing, right? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I tell people this. I did my freshman year. We were playing in the Fiesta Bowl against Florida State, and I didn't know who he was. I'm from Louisiana. I know Louisiana guys are, but I see this guy walking through the mall with a dog that looked just like it. You know, he had a Jerry Curry, had sunglasses on. He had goals on. He was sharp, man. I'm like, who is this dude? You know, and I think Nate Turner was with me, and Leo and Reggie Cooper, and Reggie knew because Reggie, he was playing. I was redshirt, so Reggie was involved in the game plan. He said, "Oh, that's Deion Sanders. He's really good." And boy, the next time I seen him, he was catching a punt like on a 15-yard line, and he was hauling butt. but you know, and I met him when he came to Lincoln, and he's really good friends with Broderick Thomas. They were best friends, and I think to this day they're still best friends. And he's always been a genuine good dude. You know, I mean, he's always been a confident person, and I never look at that as being cocky. I look at it that he's just a confident person. You know, and that's okay. And you're comfortable around people like that when you're a confident person. That you don't look at him as he's arrogant, he's cocky. No, that's just him. If you know him, that's just him. But he's a really good guy. He really cares about these kids, and he's been coaching. He coached like a travel team to start off with. Then he had a high school team. Then he went to Jackson State. You know, now he's at Colorado. But at the end of the day, all he do is win. Everywhere he's gone, he's won, and you can't take that away from him. But you know, like I said, people like to judge. People live in glass houses and like to throw stones. You know, hey, he's doing something for those kids. He works for those kids because I've been at the HBCU. I've been there before. You don't have everything that you need, but what he brought to the HBCU was fabulous. He put them back on the map because it's really good football, guys. I've been there before. I worked at Alabama State, Alcorn State, and Grambling. And what he did for the HBCUs as a coach, you got to be proud of him because he brought notoriety there. You know, he had ESPN there. He had game day at Jackson State. Man, game day ain't been at some of these other FCS schools, you know, but they was at Jackson State. So he did that, but he's a good kind. I'm happy for his success. I'm happy for his success. I was rooting for him for every game this year except Nebraska. You know, I'm still go Big Red. You know, I'm still go Big Red, and I think he's doing an excellent job, and I think he's going to continue to grow because he's going to be out. He's going to be able to go get some players to come to Boulder and play for him. So he's going to continue. He's going to get better, and I think by them going to the Big 12. Now they're about to go back into Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, and start recruiting because think about it. These kids are coming from Colorado to go play in Texas, West Virginia, you know, Oklahoma State, because Oklahoma's getting out of there. You know, they're going to play in Houston, you know, so they're going to be able to come halfway and be able to see their kids play. But at the end of the day, every game's on TV. But like I said, I think he's a good coach, a great coach, but he's an excellent person. I never heard any negative things about this guy. That this guy is just a good person, and I mean, I got to speak to him once or twice, you know. But I'm always cheering for guys like that, you know, because I know how hard it is for some black coaches to get shots, and he got a shot. And so you got to cheer him on. You got to say, okay, man, you're doing it the right way. And he's going to do things the right way. And like I said, you know, I mean, he surprises some people that don't know him. If you know him, you know he was going to get them jokers to play. And listen, he didn't show his hand about the players that he had there because he surprised me, TCU. I'm like, he had little Joe Horn Jr. there? So he got dudes now.
Where'd that tight end come from?
I don't know. Number 87?
Where'd he come from?
Know. But that joker made 2 big catches in that game. You know, but you know the thing about it, they taking on his persona, they're taking on his attitude. Like, let's get after it. You know, let's go. At the end of the day, you hear him preaching, let's outwork our opponents. He's preaching the same thing. He's just probably saying it a little different. But he's preaching the same thing. Give me your all when you come to practice. Do things right. You know, do things right. And I mean, and at the end of the day, he's letting those kids be who they are. Because so many times we get kids and we want to change them to fit the makeup the makeup of the school or the makeup of the coach. No, he's letting them be who they are. And that's one thing I like about Ed Orgeron. He allowed the kids at LSU just to be who you are. You know, if it's not bad, we're gonna adapt to you. So if you don't talk a lot, like Terrence Marshall wasn't a big talker, well, guess what? I'm gonna make you talk, but I'm not gonna say you have an attitude because you don't say good morning, or you don't say, hey Mick, how you doing, or you walk by me and you don't speak. You know, and if you did that to me, I'll stop you and say, hey man, I didn't sleep with you last night. How you doing? You know, and they're laughing, you break the ice, and next thing you know, when they walk by you the next time, they speak. I don't care if they see you 5 times, they're gonna speak to me because that's what I do to them. You know, but I like what Deion's doing. I like what he's doing. I wish him luck. I wish him all the luck in the world. And I'm on his band. I'm cheering for him. You know, and I'm not cheering for him, you know, because everybody else is against him. I'm cheering for him because, you know, it was a 1-11 football team last year,
right?
And he did it in a couple of months. And you know, it's early. It's early. You know, it's early. You know, and he's got, you know, they still got a tough part of their schedule to go. But I like what I see. I like that, you know, they're very organized. They're very they tenacious. They run around and I know Charles Kelly. Charles Kelly and I coached together at Nicholls State, the D coordinator. And I know CK. You know, CK he's a big time coach. He get after you, and he's going to do things the right way. He spent some time in Alabama. He spent some time at Georgia. So he's got a good coaching staff. He's surrounded himself with good coaches. But I think at the end of the day, the kids know he really truly care about him, and they're going to work for him. They're going to work for him. They played a hell of a game the other night. I stayed up and watched it, you know. And I mean, they fought to the end, and people thought they was going to blow them out. But on the other hand, Jay Novell's a hell of a coach. You know, he was once at Nebraska before. He's a hell of a coach, you know, and he's a good guy also. You know, so it was good to see both of those guys on the sideline go at it, and after the game's over, shake hands and go their own way. Now move on to the next opponent.
Well, Mickey, man, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I know New Orleans.
Man, it's about 5 minutes to go in the game. They don't eat all the jambalaya and all the chicken and all the fish.
Y'all eating all them crawfish heads and all.
No, it's not crawfish season. So you not from here. You try to give somebody some crawfish from here right now, they'll be mad at you.
What season is crawfish season?
It'll start right there in January, February. So we have it during Mardi Gras. You need to come down for Mardi Gras. You need to come down for Mardi Gras this year.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm gonna drive my RV down.
I hope you can take it back with you.
Oh well, I ain't driving. I'm just driving my vehicle.
I'm just. Oh no! Don't drive that. We got my mama Benz covered up outside. Nobody's driving expensive cars in this family anymore. They're all nervous.
All right, Mickey, it's so good to talk to you, big bro.
It's good to talk to you guys too, man. You know, it's good. You know, like I said, you know, I'm always go Big Red. I'm wishing him luck. Coach Rule's a hell of a coach. You know, he got, you know, he worked with a couple of guys I worked with at LSU. So, you know, and it, you know, like I said, it'll you know, everything takes time, but he'll get it right. You know, we just gotta keep trusting in him and you know, just trust the process. You know, trust the process, because it is a process when you're taking over a program like this. And I think they're gonna be fine. They just got to keep rooting and keep supporting them. And I'm sure the people in Nebraska, they're gonna do the same thing. And I know everybody's frustrated, and we should be, because you know we're always frustrated because we're used to winning all the time. But you gotta be patient with him and let him get it fixed. You know, let him get it fixed, and eventually he will. You know.
Hey, Mick, man, I love you, brother. Good to see you.
All right, bro. I love you too, big dog.
You got the smile still, and I hope it's New Orleans women or they losing.
And I got my hair back.
Hey, you ain't got no hair. There ain't nothing up there.
No, that's hair. That's full. That's hair.
You letting it grow back?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I see you, brother, man. Next time, listen, Heart of a Husker, Rashawn Jackson, Mickey Joseph. You never know who's gonna show up. I appreciate
there you go, baby.
We'll
go Big Red.
Go Big Red.